What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this beautiful 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. I just want to give a huge thank you and shout out again to the team over at Maserati of Tysons Corner, especially Sean. This vehicle they just acquired and they're used in pre-owned line, and I'll have all their contact information in the description below. But I'm really excited to check this Giulia Quad out today. This car is super underrated in my opinion, and it's a shame that it really doesn't get the attention that it deserves. With a 500 horsepower twin turbo V6 and gorgeous styling, this thing really is the ultimate sports sedan. So for those that are unfamiliar, the Giulia is the kind of small four-door sedan that Alfa Romeo offers in its lineup to compete with entries such as the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, the BMW 3 Series, the Audi A4, stuff like that. It was introduced for the 2017 model year, I believe, and it borrowed a lot of design and inspiration from Alfas of past. For the Quadrifoglio here, you have a more aggressive front bumper with a deeper kind of chin spoiler right there. You also have the sensors for the adaptive cruise control. This one is finished in a gorgeous shade of Volcano Black, I believe. It is a very nice color. It has a lot of nice metallic flake to it. You also have HID headlights up here. These were refreshed actually for the 2024 model year to give LEDs. Under the hood of the Quadrifoglio, this is why you buy this car. It is a gorgeous 2.9 liter twin turbo V6. It makes 505 horsepower and 443 foot-pounds of torque. 0 to 60 is in 3.8 seconds. All these Quadrifoglios are rear-wheel drive only. Top speed is well in excess of 190 miles an hour. Fuel economy, if you care, is rated at 17 in the city and 25 on the highway for around 20 combined. Now, with the introduction of the G80 M4, the Quadrifoglio here has fallen behind in terms of the horsepower wars. But when this came out, it was actually competing with the F82 M4, and it had around 80 more horsepower. So, I mean, this thing is still insanely fast by today's standards, and there's no hybrid technology or anything like that to complicate things under here. It's just a tried and true twin turbo V6. You can see this engine bay takes a lot of design inspiration from Ferrari. I'm pretty sure this V6 shares a lot of componentry or overall design with the California T's twin turbo V8, only with kind of 2 cylinders knocked off. You can see kind of the twin intakes right there, the gorgeous intake manifold with the 4-leaf clover and some Alfa Romeo script. This is a 90-degree V6, as you can see by the badging on top as well. This Quadrifoglio is also equipped with the 19-inch Dark Technico wheels. They are a gorgeous design with this kind of split 5-spoke look here. You have the Brembo red brake calipers up at the front. I believe those are a 4-piston unit. The front tires also measure a 245 section. You have the Quadrifoglio 4-leaf clover right here. If you guys are unfamiliar, Alfa Romeo puts this shield, if you will, or clover on all of its performance models as a sign of good luck due to a Italian racing driver back in the day who put that on his car and actually won a very famous race. So pretty cool design touch there, dating back almost 100 years, I believe. The rear tires are even larger at 285 section. You also have obviously the same gorgeous Dark Technico wheels and the 4-piston Brembo brakes as well. I really like the separate parking brake caliper. It's just a reminder that this is a serious sports sedan here. Like I said, the Giulia is about the same size as a BMW 3 Series. It's around 182.6 inches in total length, and it has around 111-inch wheelbase. It's a nice and compact sedan. Specific traits to the Quadrifoglio here, you can see this gorgeous stacked exhaust quad system right here. It's absolutely incredible. You have a very aggressive rear diffuser as well with some channels to help direct that airflow. You also have a carbon fiber spoiler, and if we go ahead and open up the trunk, it is kind of a semi-power function. You can just press like so. And you have around 13.4 cubic feet of storage. You have a nice large opening as well. You can also fold the rear seats down to give you a little bit extra space. These Quadrifoglios also have a carbon fiber hood as well as some carbon fiber side skirts right there, the carbon fiber rear wing, and the carbon rear diffuser that I showed you before. So gives a little bit of additional weight saving. In the rear seat of the Giulia, like I said, it is a compact sports sedan, but it actually offers a little bit more space than you would probably expect. Obviously, the interior quality is amazing, and we'll talk about that here in the front seat. But if we go ahead and take a quick step inside, I'll show you guys that it's actually not too bad. You know, I do have the seat moved up a little bit, but I do have quite a few inches between me and the back of the seat. You also have some climate vents back here and some USB charging ports, as well as heated rear seats. I actually did not expect that. The base price of the Giulia Quadrifoglio back in 2022 was around $78,000. This one is equipped with the 25P option package. Think of it more of a technology package for around $1,500. So the total MSRP of this car when it was new was around $82,000. I believe this one is for sale with 20,000 miles for around $58,000. So a really good value, actually, if you ask me. If we go ahead and take a look at the interior here, like I said, the quality is beautiful. You have some stitching on top of the armrest here with the carbon fiber trim. This one also is equipped with the 14-speaker Harman Kardon audio system. You also have Alfa Romeo kick plates right here, the full black leather interior with the Alfa Romeo logo right there embossed on the headrest. The Quadrifolios also offer this 3-spoke flat bottom design steering wheel with a little bit of Alcantara and carbon fiber trim. It is absolutely beautiful with these massive fully aluminum paddle shifters. And if I forgot to mention, the front driver's seat is a 3-person memory and I believe adjusts in 8 different ways. Let's go ahead and start this beast up, and before we do so, I'll show you guys the key. As you can see, it is this massive thing right here with the Alfa Romeo badge on the back. You have unlock, lock, trunk release, remote start, as well as the panic function and a little bit of Alfa script at the bottom. All you have to do to fire this thing up is put your foot on the brake and hit the start stop button on the steering wheel, which I love. On the steering wheel, like I said, it is this gorgeous leather and Alcantara wrapped unit. You have some controls for the adaptive cruise control and the lane centering, which is part of that technology package that I mentioned before. You can scroll through a couple of the menus right there, but like I said, not too much customization. To the left of the wheel, you also have the parking sensor, defeat, auto start stop, and some headlight controls. This is a nice little storage compartment underneath on the left side. You have the hood release and the trunk button. The Quadrifoglio has specific gauges. You can see the little 4-leaf clover, a 200-mile-an-hour speedometer, as well as a 8,000 RPM red line. You have a 7-inch full-color display in the middle here. As you can tell, this is not a full digital display. That came with the 2024 refresh, I believe, and you don't have that much customization in that screen, unfortunately. Moving along though, the rest of the interior quality feels really nice with the full leather stitched dashboard, the carbon fiber trim. All of this material is soft touch as well, so it feels really nice and good attention to detail. This is the 8.8-inch touchscreen infotainment display. As you can see, it's a little bit laggy, but you do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as some performance gauges as well. I believe that's probably specific to the Giulia Quadrifoglio, but still nice stuff there. Below the infotainment, you have some relatively simple climate controls here. You have the fan speed right in the center with this dial, the temperature control, the heated seat controls, the heated steering wheel. You have a USB charging outlet right here, 12-volt socket, some additional storage, and carbon fiber trim by the cup holders. This is the controller for the 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. Right now the vehicle is in park. To go into drive, you can just press the back of the selector and move it down. You can also move it into reverse by going up like so. This car has a backup camera, but no 360 camera was available, so it kind of shows the age of this car. But you still can press the P at the top to put the vehicle in park. You also have a manual mode right here where you can use these gorgeous aluminum paddle shifters. Alongside the gear selector, you have the electronic parking brake release, and I believe this is a dedicated key slot right here, so you can actually just stick it in upside down like so, and it fits perfectly. This is the Alfa Romeo kind of DNA controller. These D, N, and A actually stands for something in Italian, but I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Go ahead and kick it up. You can see you're in dynamic mode. The infotainment screen changes. You also have a little bit of a suspension icon illuminated for the adaptive dampers. If we go down into A, I also believe that this is more kind of an active or eco mode. And I believe the Quadrifoglio also has a race mode right here. If you go ahead and hold it, you can see everything turns red. The infotainment also shows that as well, and it disables the traction control. Underneath the drive mode selector, you also have the infotainment controls, which I showed you guys. You have a wireless charging pad that I believe was added in these kind of later model year Giulias, and a little bit of storage underneath as well with some additional USB and auxiliary charging outlets. One small thing on the interior of this car that I wish it had was a sunroof or a moonroof type, situation here. I'm not sure why this car does not have one. It doesn't even have like a carbon fiber roof or anything. So I kind of wish that this car had it, or at least was an option. You also have some controls for the interior illumination. One other really nice thing, you can see some of the accents for the carbon fiber hood as you're driving along, just to let you know that you have the performance Giulia here. Let's go ahead and set the camera up here and take this Giulia Quadrifoglio for a quick test drive. Hi guys, welcome to the inside of the Giulia Quadrifoglio, and this is a really interesting car for me, honestly. I've never had the opportunity to even drive a Giulia at all. I feel like I said earlier, these cars have really just flown under the radar, and they really don't get the attention that they deserve. Some of that might be warranted, honestly, with the interior quality and everything like that. It doesn't stack up in that sense to like the other competitors, but this car has so much like emotion and soul, and I know that's like a cliche thing to say, but it just feels so unique behind the wheel of this car already. Some other impressions I'm noticing right off the bat here is how easy this thing is to drive. Now, I know this isn't like a supercar or anything like that, but it's extremely quiet. You know, the valves for the V6 for the exhaust are closed right now. Just a very livable, you know, car, and that's almost what something like this has to be. It has to have that dual personality of, you know, a flamethrower, you know, fast car, but also something to live with, because this would be a daily driver in most scenarios. Can you guys see that? That's a Revuelto right there. Sounds absolutely incredible. But as we take off from the light here, I actually just put the car down into a dynamic mode with this kind of DNA controller, and I can immediately tell that the throttle response is a lot sharper. The valves opened up with that V6. It's a little bit more audible, as you can tell. The ride, if you could probably tell, the camera is bouncing around a little bit, is actually incredibly stiff. That's actually a little bit surprising. I was about to mention in the normal mode, it felt really nice and compliant, but up in this kind of dynamic mode, it is crazy stiff. The transmission is also very responsive. I love using these fully aluminum paddle shifters. The downshifts are also really good as well. You can maybe hear the V6 a little more. Sounds really good. There's no, burbles or anything from this exhaust, just a straight, twin turbo V6, which is exactly how it should be. There's also not a lot of turbo lag, which is really nice. If you put your foot down, it only takes like half a second for them to spool up. I don't believe that this car has like the hot turbo setup with the, the turbos in the manifold or anything like that. It has the kind of traditional twin turbos on each bank, but nonetheless, this thing sounds really good. And the throttle response, like I said, is quick and responsive. As we kind of get up to speed here, this thing is fast, guys. Really, really fast. The turbos have a really nice power delivery. It doesn't feel like spiky or anything. And 500 horsepower is nothing to sneeze at. I know today everything has 1,000 horsepower with electric motors and stuff, but this feels like a strong and true performance sedan. It's really impressive, honestly. One of the things I'm not so much of a fan of with this car are the brakes. I'm not sure if it's like just this specific car or what, but like the pedal is a little bit squishy, like at the top of the travel. Once you get into the actual pedal travel, they're really strong and they feel great. They're just a little bit difficult to modulate. So like I said, I'm not sure if that's specific to kind of all Giulia Quadrifolios, but I kind of would wish for a little bit more bite in at the initial part of the pedal and a little bit easier modulation, but they're still strong. They still do their job, but just something that I've noticed driving around here. The sound is a very interesting, thing for me. I've heard videos of this car, obviously, and, stuff like that, but to hear it in person, it's actually a very surprising and kind of pleasant tone. I always kind of thought it sounded like a trumpet, or it was like too overbearing, but for some reason it's it's just nice for some reason. Overall, guys, I think this thing is super underrated. I know I kind of said that at the start, but just driving this thing even more, I'm just starting to love it the more I drive it, to be honest with you guys. I've driven like the G82 M4 and stuff, and that car was nice, obviously, but it just felt a little bit bloated by like all the technology and stuff like that. This is like the last breath of like, a little modern tech and everything, but like analog feel and just a tried and true sports sedan. And what I think is really unique about the Quadrifoglio in general is that this car was developed with the help of a lot of ex-Ferrari engineers. So they helped develop this chassis, this platform, and you can definitely feel it. The engine, like I said, takes a lot of characteristics from the Ferrari V8 of the time. So, I mean, it's just a really unique package, and it's something that, has just, like I said, so much emotion and pride built into it. Now that it's, I think, formally out of production, I don't think a sports sedan like this will happen probably ever, to be honest with you guys. It's a little bit upsetting, but snatch one of these up while they're used, while you can, because I still think they're really amazing cars. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this full tour and review of this gorgeous 2022 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Like I said, huge thank you and shout out again to Sean and Maserati of Tysons for allowing me to film this car. It is for sale, and I'll have all their contact information in the description box below. But if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe for a ton of great content coming very soon. And I'll catch you in the next one.